This was June 1967. It was the time of the Summer of Love. You or your parents are probably in that picture. And the Summer of Love was a crazy time. There was a lot of casualties. But it was also a time of great spiritual awakening for those who were open to it. And George was one of those people who said, you know, this scene isn't making it for me anymore. I want the real thing. I want the real yoga. I've been exposed to it. I want to learn this thing I'm reading about called meditation. But before I get to that, I want to play a few minutes of George speaking, thinking back on that time of his life. So we'll just play 2-3 minutes.
You know, what are we doing on this planet? I think through the Beatles experience we've grown so many years within a short period of time. I'd experienced so many things and met so many people, but I realized there was nothing actually that was giving me a buzz anymore. I wanted something better. I remember thinking, I'd love to meet somebody who will really impress me. I don't mean because somebody like, you know, Burt Lancaster, because he was in a movie. Right. I mean, I met Burt Lancaster, and he impressed me on that level. I meant somebody who really impressed me. And that's when I met Ravi, which was funny, because he's this little fella with an obscure instrument from our point of view. And yet, it led me into such depths. And I think that's the most important thing. It still is for me. You know, I get confused when I look around the world and I see everybody's running around. And, you know, as Bob Dylan said, he not busy being born is busy dying. And yet nobody's trying to figure out what's the cause of death and what happens when you die. I mean, that to me is the only thing really that's of any importance. The rest is all secondary.
Do you think pop musicians are afraid to deal with subjects that are so big, or it just doesn't occur to them, or do people think, oh, it's not commercial enough, who wants to talk about life itself?
I don't know what anybody else thinks, and you know, as the years have gone by, I seem to have found myself more and more out on a limb as far as, you know, that kind of thing goes. I mean, even close friends of mine, you know, they maybe don't want to talk about it because they don't understand it, but I believe in the thing that I read years ago, which I think was in the Bible. It said, knock and the door will be opened. And it's true. If you want to know anything in this life, you just have to knock on the door, whether that be physically on somebody else's door and ask them a question, or, which I was lucky to find, is the meditation. Is, you know, it's all within. Because if you think about it, there isn't anything, I mean, in creation, the whole of creation, that is perfect. No, there is nothing that goes wrong with nature. Only what man does, then it goes wrong. But we are made of that thing. The very essence of our being, of every atom in our body, is made from this perfect knowledge, this perfect consciousness. But superimposed on that is through, if I can use the word, the tidal wave of the bull.
And that seeking led in August of 1967 to this watershed moment in the history of the spirit.